Chris, thank you very much for your generosity. Hello, Reverend Ed and Church Without Walls. I love the message and appreciate what you do. We can all use a hopeful message these days. On that note, Chris, I'm going to share with you a hopeful, challenging. It's challenging. I swear it's challenging, especially the more you think about it. So when I put this out there, I need you to watch this video like 19 times. I'm teasing, but if, it is a challenging message. It's a challenging message. So years and years and years ago, like not that long ago, but long enough. Canada, we have 3 political parties. We have the Conservative Party. They change their name from time to time, so we call them the Conservative Party. We have the Liberals. They're not really liberals. They're more center. I'd even argue center-right most days. And we have the New Democratic Party. And the New Democratic Party has never really taken power in Canada. Liberals and the Conservatives usually do it. New Democrats generally play the spoiler for the most part, and then the partner if there's a minority government. But we're not going to get into Canadian civics right now tonight. There was a leader. His wife is currently, I think she's the mayor of Toronto right now, Olivia Chow, and she's pretty brilliant in her own right. But her former husband, a guy named Jack Layton, he passed away back in 2011, I believe. Jack Layton, he died of, I think it was cancer, and he was the leader of the New Democratic Party right up until his death, I believe. And he was a member of Parliament, and he'd served Canada in that capacity for years and years and years. He wrote a letter to Canadians. It's called the Letter to Canadians as he died. And there's this one part of the letter that pretty much every Canadian either hears. It might be something that is fed to us when we're born at this point. I'm not sure, but it's powerful. It's powerful. He says, "My friends, love is better than anger. Hope is better than fear. Optimism is better than despair. So let us be loving, hopeful, and optimistic, and we'll change the world." I'm going to read that again. I love these words. My friends, love is better than anger. Hope is better than fear. Optimism is better than despair. So let us be loving, hopeful, and optimistic, and we will change the world. Jack Layton, from his letter to Canadians, written as he was dying in 2011. If you only read the first part, right? If you only read the first part, my friends, love is better than anger. Hope is better than fear. Optimism is better than despair. And you just stopped reading. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's true, Jack. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Jack. We're with you 100%. You're right. Love is better than anger. And hope is better than fear. And optimism is better than despair. But then he hits you with the next line. He hits you with the challenge. He hits you with the great challenge. So let us, you and I, let us be loving. Oh, geez, that's a little tougher there, Jack. I guess. Let us be hopeful. Hopeful in this world is... Geez, you're asking a lot, bub. Jack, you're asking a lot from us. Loving and hopeful. And optimistic. Oh, you're bridge too far, bub. That's a bridge too far. But then he tells us why. If we're willing to accept the challenge, that he's offering here in this passage, for you and I to go out and be loving, we can do that. For us to go out and be hopeful, we can do that. For us to go out and be optimistic, it's so tough, but we can do that. And if we're willing to do it, we'll change the world. And he's right. It's not about the world changing so that we can be loving and hopeful and optimistic. It's not about the world changing so that we can be loving and hopeful and optimistic. One more time, it's not about the world changing first so that we can finally go out and be people who are loving and hopeful and optimistic. No. People who are loving, hopeful, and optimistic are the reason the world changes. It's you and I, right? It's the people who are loving, hopeful, and optimistic that will make the world a better place. It's one of the reasons I have such difficulty. It's one of the reasons I have such difficulty with some folks out in the media who are feeding us their stuff, even though it's they're giving us their opinions. They're giving me their opinion about somebody that I already dislike, somebody that I already distrust, somebody that I would never support. They're telling me about that person, but they're doing it in a way that is not loving, it is not hopeful, and it is not optimistic. And I know the message is just, ugh. We need love and hope and optimism. And how many other people in this world, how many other people around you, in your community, in your family, your friends, in your circles, how many of them are starving for love and hope and optimism? How many of them have given in to cynicism and to despair, and fear and anger? These are the natural. This is my new default mode. I'm going to be angry. I'm going to be ticked off. I'm going to be 3 inches away from rage at any given point. I'm going to be a cynic. I'm going to be cynical. I'm going to second guess everything. I'm going to poo-poo everything that comes around. It doesn't change the world. It may protect them. It may protect them. Don't want to get their hopes up and all. So this way here, that if everything goes to pot, then, well, I knew that would happen. I want to change the world. I want to change the world. I think many of you want to change the world for the better. It's going to require you and I to choose in this moment to be people of love, hope, and optimism. It's going to require us to do that. It's going to require us to go out to do that, and to go out there and to show people that we are loving, we are hopeful, and we are optimistic. The world isn't going to change so that we can be those things. The world isn't going to change so that we can experience peace and joy and hope and love. The world's not going to change for us. We must be agents of change. And this is the path. Amen.